Hello guys, welcome back to another video in our channel. Welcome back to our live stream. And as I said that we'll be more active, I think the month of May has been quite well. More videos, more live streams, more podcasts. And as the transfer window continues, there's just too much to talk about. There is the transfer rumor of Kudus coming to Chelsea. I've done a video on him, tactically analyzed him, looked at what Kudus will bring to Chelsea, what Kudus is tasked to offer to Chelsea. And you can just leave your comments in the comment section area, whether you're able to hear me well, whether you're able to see me well, and you can also say where you're from so that we can at least get to know each other. But it's really a roller coaster ride in the transfer window. A lot is happening in the transfer window. Chelsea so far have signed one player. Liam Delap is a Chelsea player. He will wear the number 9 shirt. He has taken it with confidence. A shirt that has had a problem with Chelsea, because we know very well that Chelsea as a club have had a problem with the number 9 shirt. But Liam Delap has taken it. He's very confident in it. And we could even see what he was doing when he wore that shirt. And this says a lot about the player. It says about the kind of character that Liam Delap is. He's willing to take it. I know a lot of people will say about, we'll talk about Trevoh Chalobah and Lukaku. But what I have to say about Trevoh Chalobah is that even Trevoh Chalobah, when he played with the number 9 shirt, the number 9 so-called cast did not affect him, because Chalobah had around, I think, 14 goals in that season and 10 assists. He had a 24 GA in that season. Jackson's best season was his first season. Last season, Jackson just got 10 goals, which was quite shocking compared to the number of chances that Nicholas Jackson actually had. We've also had rumors that Jackson is currently reassessing his future at Chelsea. But again, the club has trusted you for 2 seasons, Nicholas Jackson. 2 seasons the club has trusted you. 2 seasons you've been given the full number 9 job. You are given the number 9 position in your first season under Maurizio Pochettino. Enzo Maresca has also given you the number 9 position. And these 2 seasons, you are supposed to lay a marker that you are supposed to be Chelsea's number 9. But you failed. So Chelsea are going into the market. And Chelsea were not just signing Liam Delap. There is also news on Ekitike, and a lot of news coming out on his transfer progress with Chelsea. We are also going to talk about the rumors that Chalobah might actually be leaving Chelsea, as we are hearing that Napoli wants to sign him. There is also rumors that Noni Madueke is also looking to be priced out of Chelsea. I think it's probably Newcastle or something are trying to spend 60 million euros on Noni Madueke. We are also seeing the signing of Robert Sanchez, who's being tapped to actually go to West Ham and reunite with Graham Potter. And the question goes, are we actually moving like a serious team in the transfer window? Maignan played yesterday against Spain, conceded 5 goals, and now even questions are being raised with Chelsea fans if Maignan is the best goalkeeper for Chelsea. There's too much questions in this transfer window. Everything is going fast, and here where I am finding it problematic to even ascertain whether we are making the right moves, because things are just flowing fast. I cannot even make a video. The last time I made a video on Maignan, I was bombarded with a lot of comments that AC Milan are pricing him out and Chelsea are looking to step out. Then I left that. Then I've made a video. So it becomes very problematic in this time, because every time you see more news coming out. Somebody saying that he's the best goalkeeper. I am really skeptical, because I have seen a lot of players who came to Chelsea who we had high expectations for. We had high expectations for Hakim Ziyech. We had high expectation for Timo Werner. We had high expectations for Kai Havertz. We had high expectations for Kalidou Koulibaly. We had high expectations for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. But the question is, are we going to get it with Mike Maignan? Because Robert Sanchez has looked quite good, especially towards the latter runnings of the season. And Petrovic has looked better. In fact, he has had his best season in Strasbourg, even being voted player of the season. And he's looking to come and claim the Chelsea #1 kit. And if that is the case, yes, though I do understand that this goalkeeper is an experienced goalkeeper with over 4 years experience, but when you look at his numbers throughout the season, what you notice is that also his goals against, he has been underperforming his XG recently. Now, I want just to go directly to the main news. I want to go directly to the main news that has happened today. And the main news that we're getting today is about Trevoh Chalobah. Remember that Chelsea understand that Trevoh Chalobah is pure profit. And we are getting information from Matt Law. We are getting information from Matt Law, and I want to just read it out. The information that you're getting from Matt Law is that Chelsea have been delighted with Trevoh Chalobah's performance and attitude since returning from his loan spell at Crystal Palace and are not looking to sell him. That is what Matt Law is talking about. Matt Law is talking about that Chelsea are more likely to retain Trevoh Chalobah. Chelsea are looking to retain Trevoh Chalobah. And that looks realistic considering on Fofana's injuries. Fofana has been really getting injured. And I think Maresca has also raised some positivity about Chalobah playing in that right-sided centre-back role. One thing I'm not so keen with Chalobah is his physicality. When he's coming up against physical centre-backs, as physical defenders like... physical defenders like not physical defenders, physical strikers like Erling Haaland, Chris Wood. Do I think that Chalobah can be that player who can hold off these big centre backs, or will I be much more comfortable having Tosin? Remember the goal that we conceded against Crystal Palace. He was nowhere to stop Tonali from scoring the initial goal. Somebody's talking about no left wing. How do we compete in the Club World Cup? I am here to announce to you officially that I'll be partnering with Alfie. He was here once in the Chelsea live stream. He's a Brazilian and he has much more information about the Brazilian teams. And we'll be looking to do some match previews with him, some tactical previews with him, because he's very familiar with some of the teams in Brazil and South America, which maybe some of us are not quite familiar with. But the Club World Cup is very important. Remember, it will only be happening every 4 years. The Club World Cup will only be happening every 4 years. And if we win it, we'll have that golden badge on our chest for 4 years. Chelsea squad lacks experience. Mike could be an ideal answer because we are a winning team. Let me say something about experience. You see, experience is not gained, is not all about age, you know. Like, for example, Marcus Rashford. Let me just look at the age of Marcus Rashford. I want to put a point and answer this question to do with the experience, because I've seen a lot of people missing the point when it comes to experience. Now, Marcus Rashford is 27 years old. Marcus Rashford is 27 years old. If you are looking at Marcus Rashford from purely an age standpoint, you'll be like, this is a player who's about to enter his prime. But the question is does Marcus Rashford look like a player who's entering his prime, or he looks like a player who's leaving his pride? And experience is gained by playing football. You can be 28, but you've always been a player who comes from the bench. So you've not gained experience. Like, in my opinion, I have to say this. I would say that Colwill is actually an experienced football player, because Colwill has played an entire full season and he has played a full season under Graham Potter at Brighton. He played under Roberto Di Zerbi at Brighton. He played under Maurizio Pochettino at Chelsea. He played under Enzo Maresca at Chelsea. So Levi Colwill has had 4 seasons in the Premier League. Levi Colwill has had 4 seasons in the Premier League. What is the age of Colwill? Let me just get for you the age of Levi Colwill. And I'm going to debunk this thing that is called experience. Now, Levi Colwill is just 22 years old. He's 22 years old, but he has played for 4 Premier League seasons, meaning that he started to play football at the age of 18. At what age did John Terry become the captain for Chelsea? By the time John Terry was 25, he was among the most experienced defenders because he started to play football at the age of 18. So when you're talking about experience, do not look at the age of the players. Like, for example, I might actually say that Colwill is a much more experienced player than Romeo Lavia, because Lavia has been out injured most of the time, but Colwill has been playing football. The same goes to Caicedo. Caicedo has played 38 out of 38 games this season for us. Last season under Mauricio Pochettino, he played majority of the games. The season before that at Brighton, he played a lot of games. That's why when Caicedo steps on the pitch, you are seeing a central defensive midfielder who understands the game. He knows when to step out to tackle. He knows when to step out and pass the ball. And these things, you only gain them by having more minutes on the pitch. So when it comes to saying that Chelsea have players who lack experience, that is flat out a lie. Cole Palmer has now played around over 50 Premier League appearances at Chelsea. Jackson has also made close to 50 appearances at Chelsea. And when you look at that, you notice that experience is not such a big thing. I hope one big player joins us before the deadline. Yes, we really need a big player. We need a big player. We need a big player. We know we had Thiago Silva, but we need a big player. I started to see towards the latter times of the season that Tosin and Rabiot was starting to step up and take up this position. Reece James is also looking like a player who plays like his experience. Generally, I cannot say that I'm seeing some sense of immaturity in the team, but I'm seeing some level of maturity in this team. This team has managed to take points off the champions. This team has managed to get a crucial 1-0 victory over Manchester United when they needed it. This team has managed to go to Nottingham Forest, get a win, grind out the result, and ensure they won when they had to win. So when you're talking about experience, in my opinion, yes, I know that we need some additions, but what I can say is that I am seeing there's some level of experience that these players are getting. They might be young, but they have played more games. Like Palmer has played 2 seasons in a row over 30 games. Jackson has played 2 seasons in a row over 30 games. Caicedo has played over 35 games. Fernandez has also played over 30 games. So Colwill has played over 30 games. So what are we saying when we are saying that these players lack experience? That is not right. Now, the issue with the Trevoh Chalobah, what's my opinion? I do understand that Chelsea might now try to keep Trevoh Chalobah because Chelsea have gotten the Champions League, Chelsea are in the Club World Cup. So they're more likely to make a lot of money in the Club World Cup. They can, if the further they go, they are more likely to make more money. If they go probably all the way to the quarterfinals or probably all the way to the semifinals, they can probably make around $90 million. And with that, they will be so safe from PSR. We're also looking at Chelsea paying very low wages. And this might make Chelsea actually retain players like Trevoh Chalobah. This might make Chelsea retain players like Trevoh Chalobah. And there's also one thing that I'm getting about Chalobah that I'm trying to get. And this is Chelsea are looking to try and ensure that they retain the core players in the squad. There are some players who are going to leave, but there's some core players that are going to stay. Like, in my opinion, I may think that Disasi is going. I've seen that there is interest from Newcastle. So Disasi is more likely that he's going to leave Chelsea. Benoit Badiashile, I think he might probably even go on loan. And Chelsea might just remain with 4 centre-backs: Tosin, Colwill, Chalobah, and Fofana. Tosin, Colwill, Chalobah, and Fofana. Those are the only four centre backs I think Chelsea are going to need, because again, you don't want an overly huge squad, because the bigger the squad, the bigger the problems. One thing that I have to say is that I don't know if Chelsea are going for a left back, because at the moment we have only one left back at the club, and that left back is Marc Cucurella. And there are going to be many games this season. Remember, Cucurella played yesterday. Next week on Saturday, he has a game. The Club World Cup is starting next week on Saturday, or is it on Sunday? Chelsea have a game. He's more likely to start that game. He will play the Club World Cup. Then he'll get some few, like 2 weeks off, then back to the Premier League. And that's why I'm so scared about this Club World Cup thing. The Club World Cup thing can really affect us next season. We can even probably start the season fatigued, because I don't understand why we are subjecting our players to all these games. I saw Cole Palmer with Thomas Tuchel after the season ended. I'm asking myself, why are we having these players training with the national team? The season has just ended. Why are they training with the national team? Why are they not going on holiday? Now they are coming back from holiday. On the 16th, they have a tough competition. They will be playing every 3 days. Every 3 days, the players are going to be playing the Club World Cup in the United States. The Club World Cup is going to end in the 16th or in the 13th of July. In the 16th of August, they are going to come back. Remember, before the Premier League starts on the 16th of August, the players will have to play pre-season. So teams like Chelsea, teams like Manchester City are going to be affected by this, because they are going to be expected to be ready. And once Chelsea leave the Club World Cup, they are going to have to give their players like 3 weeks holiday. They need to give these players 3 weeks holiday so that they can just go, relax, and enjoy themselves. So Chelsea will be coming back to preseason a week late. Maresca will not have that time. But one thing that fascinates me about this Chelsea squad, that's why I'm saying we are not going to expect a lot of disruption in the squad. Don't expect that Chelsea are going to sign a lot of players. No. And it will be good for Maresca, because these players are going to not have a lot of time to do preseason. I don't think Chelsea are going to have the time to play preseason. This is something that we need to accept. And because they're not going to have a lot of time playing preseason, we expect the players to come late. And once these players come late, we know that they know the tactics. These players already know what Maresca wants. They already know how Maresca wants to play them. And that's why I'm also even so opposed to this thing of changing managers, because some people are saying Maresca cannot take us next to a further level. Let's sack him, get a manager who's going to challenge the league next season. So if you get a new manager at this time, what time does he have to come and implement his ideas on the team? What time does he get to come and learn these players? What time do these players need to come, adapt to this manager, learn this manager's style? That's why I'm saying, let's ensure we have longevity in this project. That's why I'm so happy that Maresca is getting his second season. I'm so happy that even when the players leave the United States after the Club World Cup, they can get some time to rest. These are not robots, these are human beings, and they need that time. We need to give the players some time to rest. And probably, in my opinion, we can just do preseason probably a week before the league starts, because I think 3 weeks are not too much to make these players to be so unhealthy, not to be ready for the Premier League. And also, we don't want these players to get hamstring injuries. Remember, the Premier League is intense. And if we don't take care of these players, they're going to pull up injuries. They're just going to pull up injuries. If we don't manage the players' minutes in the Club World Cup, we are going to have a lot of players pulling hamstring injuries. Players like Chris James, who are susceptible to that. Lavia. So game management will be key. And I have to talk about the second player, which is Gittens. Gittens is also coming in. I'm also going to do a tactical analysis video about Gittens. And Jamie Gittens played for Manchester City together with Delap, together with Cole Palmer. So these are Joe Shield. Joe Shield is the one who actually looking to try and sign them. They want to recreate the Manchester City of old. And what am I getting the information? Chelsea are in no rush. I want to share this. I want to share this about Jeremy Gittens. So Chelsea are in no rush to sign Jamie Gittens before the Club World Cup. The Dortmund forward is a top target, and Chelsea are exploring the parameters of the deal. When you start to hear this, just know one thing. Chelsea have now started to shift their focus from Gittens to Kudus. Somebody is raising a huge concern here. Gittens is too raw, in my opinion, to be our starting left winger. I agree with you. I agree with you. I have seen him. I have seen him. I have seen him. And to tell you the truth, you are 100% right. Gittens is too raw. He's too raw. He's too raw. There are some aspects of him that are too raw. And there's no point of having raw players. We already have Mudryk. Too raw. Too raw. I am seeing Chelsea are looking to consider that Mudryk situation. Not Mudryk. They are looking to consider that Kudus situation because they're looking at Kudus, Premier League proven, Kudus, better dribbler, Kudus, more, all the boxes tick for Mohamed Kudus. And I really want this player. I really want this player. Let nobody lie to you. Arsenal wanted this player. A lot of teams wanted Kudus. I don't even understand how he went to West Ham. A lot of teams wanted Kudus, and Kudus is a good player. Let nobody use stats and tell you he scored just 4-5 goals last season. This is a good player. You see, it's like taking Palmer in West Ham and then you expect Palmer to have the numbers he's having. No, he's not going to have those numbers. But when you see Kudus and you see, if you have Noni Madueke running down that right with Palmer, then you have on the left wing, you have Mohamed Kudus and Enzo Fernandez. Do you know how Kudus is going to give a lot of threat down that left? Because I have done an analysis and explained the way Jadon Sancho was not giving Maresca what he wanted down that left wing. Now Kudus is coming to give Maresca that. Kudus is more direct. Kudus is more explosive. Kudus is a bigger threat in that position. And in my opinion, he's a player that we should not even be hesitating to question whether he will play in that position or not. This is a player that we know very well is going to give us something when he plays in that position. So I can't wait to see Mike in our goal post. He's a player we need. I really have to see him in the Club World Cup. That's why I'm saying we don't have to sell Sanchez first. If Maignan can come in the Club World Cup, I want to see how he's going to perform in the Club World Cup. I want to see if he's that goalkeeper. He is a good goalkeeper, but I want to see if he still got it. I want to see it because I have seen so many good players come to Chelsea and they end up underwhelming. That's true. So Jeremy Gittens, I think when you see Chelsea starting to go slow, Chelsea saying there are no rush, just know that Chelsea have already seen Kudus. Chelsea have been offered Kudus. Premier League proven player. He's an older player. He's not quite old. I think he's 26 years. He's experienced. He's more direct. He's more skillful than Gittens. Overall, a better player than Gittens. Gittens is too expensive and he's too raw. We remember Chelsea Football Club spent 85 million on Mikhailo Mudryk. Do we have anything to say about the Mudryk signing? No, we don't have anything positive so far to say about the Mudryk signing. So Chelsea will be looking for cheaper options. Kudus is a cheaper option. Kudus is a better option. Kudus is a cheaper option. Kudus is a better option in that left wing position. Now, we do have more news. Let me get news. And the next news is about the striker situation. Let me just be honest. I don't really know much about Ekitike. I have not sat down to analyze him. It's something that I'm planning to do this weekend. even today. I will probably do it later on. But this is a very controversial name because a lot of fans are not trusting Liam Delap. Liam Delap, I want to see him in the Club World Cup. That is what he's going to tell me. In fact, this Club World Cup is very good. I think we have a competitive competition before the league starts, so we can know what it lacks in this team. If we see that Delap is not doing it in the Club World Cup, then we know that we have to go hard to sign a striker. Okay, sorry. So we have to go hard to sign a striker. Then I do have another question. No, I want to talk to him. I want to say something about him. A lot of players are really talking about this. Then there's also something that Rodrigo is leaving Real Madrid, and people are saying that you should pay 100 million for Rodrigo. I don't think that he's a 100 million player. I think he's probably a 65 million player, not a 100 million player. That is too much. I am thinking to see what, but he is a good player because remember he was signed for okay, yeah. So we are getting that Ekitike has been pushing so hard. Ekitike has been pushing so hard for Frankfurt to accept the incoming bid from Chelsea. And I'm telling you this. The idea that Chelsea is a young team, the idea that there are young players at Chelsea, there are young players who are doing great things. A lot of young players are attracted to Chelsea. Like, if you ask a young player whether he would go to Liverpool or to Chelsea, he's more likely to choose Chelsea. I know Liverpool have won the Premier League, but when you look at Liverpool, they are older players. Mo Salah is older. Virgil is older. Alisson is quite older. Robertson is quite older. There are very few young players. But when you go to Chelsea, everybody is a young player, probably except Tosin Rabiot, and probably Sanchez. But also Sanchez is such a cool guy that you can't even notice that. But you get my point. They are more likely to try and want to play for Chelsea because they think that they can be young players when they play at Chelsea. And Ekitike is more likely to come to Chelsea. And yeah, so let me just translate this. So Chelsea prepares 100 million package for Ekitike. Do I really think that is going to happen? No. Just a minute. I want to get news from Fabrizio Romano. I want to get news from Fabrizio. That's where we are going to get all the latest transfer news and get enough information of what is actually happening at the club. Wits has gone to Liverpool. That was quite impressive. But I do know that Chelsea are looking to sign a striker. But Liam Delap is a striker that Maresca knows. He's a striker that people are saying that Maresca is pushing for Ekitike. I think the Ekitike one is probably because Chelsea will also be looking to do something with Jackson, because Jackson is looking like he's asking serious questions. And let me just get that information for you about Ekitike, because I do think that Chelsea are going to try to sign him, and it should be a good signing. It should be a good signing for Chelsea. Now, I'm going to the next one, which is Maignan for the goalkeeper situation. And I'm asking this question. Sanchez made 5 errors leading to goal last season. Maignan has made 4 errors leading to goal in the last 4 seasons. This is a goalkeeper who has made 4 errors leading to goal in the last 4 seasons. So he is a better goalkeeper based on his previous track record. And it's a very huge call, because People are judging Mike Maignan with one game, a 90 minutes game, the game that France played again with Spain, and you know very well that these players are, a club is looking to sign you. What are you thinking throughout the game? You're thinking about the transfer saga. So it's very harsh for the fans to judge him. And again, I am saying this: the players who've had the worst debuts at Chelsea have turned out to be the best players that Chelsea have signed. And a prime example is Thiago Silva. Remember Thiago Silva's first game at Chelsea? He played against West Brom. He even got substituted at halftime by Frank Lampard. Remember the mistakes that Thiago Silva made? Remember how Thiago Silva made two huge mistakes in that game? And from that day, Thiago Silva learned and he changed. And he had been the centre back that Chelsea have been looking for. And that stemmed from the game against West Brom. Remember Moises Caicedo's first game at Chelsea? Remember Caicedo giving out a penalty? What are you saying about Caicedo today? So a lot of players have had bad debuts for Chelsea and have turned out to be very good players. And I saw also questions about Estevao. And this about Estevao, it is me who has been saying it on this channel. And I've been saying this about Estevao. I've been saying that he is a good player. He is a young player. No matter how many people try to make him to say he's Messinho from Brazil, I am not denying that he's a huge talent. I'm not saying that Estevao is a bad player. He is a good player. He is a young player. But the Premier League is a tougher league. Let's just be honest. The Premier League is a tougher league. It's a tough league. He's not going to find the kind of football that he plays in Brazil in the Premier League. That's why I'm saying a player who is more qualified to come into Chelsea is Santos, the Strasbourg player. Andre Santos will perform. You bring him in, he will perform. Because he has played in Europe. So he understands. And I've said that Chelsea need at least 4 holding midfielders next season. Because next season, we are going to field a strong midfield week in, week out. So I've said we need 4 players who can play in the pivot. Caicedo, Enzo. This other player is Lavia, Andre Santos. 4. Caicedo, Enzo, Lavia, and Andre Santos. We need 4 players who can play in the pivot. And we need to alternate them. If this weekend it's Caicedo and Fernandez who are playing, then next is Lavia and Andre Santos who are playing. So that you are able to have legs in that midfield. You are able to have legs in that midfield. I also think that you need to think about João Felix. Are we going to bring back João Felix? Because we also need an extra player to deputize Palmer. We'll either need to retain João Felix or retain Kani. We either have to retain João Felix or retain Kani Chukwuemeka, because we need a player who's also going to deputize Cole Palmer. And in my opinion, the Champions League, João Felix has experience. So I'm like, I don't know. I was shocked that João Felix left in January. I didn't expect it, but I think we are going to retain him. Question on Christopher Nkunku. I've not heard anything so far about Christopher Nkunku, but yeah, people are even now mimicking Maignan together with they're mimicking Maignan with Onana. And here is the breaking news that Maignan has actually followed Chelsea. Maignan has followed Chelsea. Let me just confirm it through my Instagram, because sometimes people might be lying on Twitter. So Maignan has followed Chelsea. Maignan has followed Chelsea on Instagram. That's huge. That's huge. That's huge. Do you mean that the signing has been made? No. Let me just see here. He's following Thiago Silva. He's following Christopher Nkunku. I want to see if Chelsea is there. No, 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 no. James, you see the way there are a lot of fake news here on X. Maignan has not followed Chelsea, so that is a fake news. That's a fake news. Mm, yeah, and again, you cannot just say Maignan is bad. Is Konate bad? Konate played that game when France lost 5-0 to Spain. Do you mean that Konate is that bad? No, he's not bad. He's a good defender. We need Kudus, bro. Utility player with absolute work rate to back his skills. He will revitalize Chelsea in a way that people won't believe. I've done an analysis on Kudus and I've said Kudus is an unpredictable player. Which teams have Chelsea suffered with this season? We've not suffered when we played Liverpool. We have not suffered when we played United. We have not suffered when we played even Newcastle game. If we probably don't get a red card and concede a first goal, a fast silly goal, we probably go toe to toe with them. Chelsea have not struggled against teams that come at them. Chelsea have struggled against teams that have sat back on them. And remember the 0-0 we had against Everton at Goodison Park. You need a player like Kudus. You know why I'm emphasizing that we need Kudus is that Kudus gives me some small element of Eden Hazard. I'm not saying that he's even close to Eden Hazard. No, no, no. He's giving me that small, tiny glimpse of Eden Hazard. That is, he's a player who's fast. He's a player with glittering pace. He's a player who's unpredictable. Have you seen the way Kudus receives the ball? Have you seen the way Kudus stands? I have seen Chelsea play against West Ham. I have seen how Kudus has done to Gusto. I have seen what Kudus has done to Reece James. Even when we played West Ham, I was so scared about him. He was the only player frightening me with Paqueta. I don't know what's up with Paqueta because there's a time Guardiola wanted him at Manchester City. But those are the two players when I play West Ham, I'm really scared of. So I will get him. I will get him. It will not be a huge change. He will just move from East London to West London. He will not change his neighborhood. He will not change where his family is. Kudus is more like all the advantages are just leaning towards Kudus. All the advantages are leaning towards Kudus. Yes, he also knows how to win ugly. And then he has these elements of bicycle kicks. You know, which player is scoring a bicycle kick at Chelsea? Which player is scoring a bicycle kick on that forward line? Probably Palmer, but Palmer doesn't play like that. So he has that flair in him. He has that flair. He's that player who can get a goal from nowhere. And those are the players that we want. Sometimes we are so repetitive, sideways, backward, sideways, backward, sideways, backward. We don't have a Jeremy Doku at Chelsea. And people were complaining that our wingers are not getting involved. Now you are getting a winger who's more direct. And I've said Kudus is answering all the boxes. He's 26 years. He's a player who's almost entering his prime. He has played in the Premier League for 2 seasons. He already has Premier League experience. He's physically strong. He's familiar with the league. He's from London. He's playing in London. West Ham is in London. So he doesn't even have to move. He's not going to change his friends. He's not going to change his neighborhood. He is in London. He's the player who ticks all the boxes. That's why when I'm seeing Chelsea going slow on Gittens, it's because they are seeing it. He's in London. He's familiar with the Premier League. He's 26 years old. He's unpredictable. He's fast. He's one of the best dribblers in the league. All the stars are lining up for him, and he wants to come to Chelsea. Why wouldn't you sign Kudus? Do you think if Arsenal were offered Kudus, they wouldn't take him? They will take him. Even Manchester United, even Manchester City. I don't see, probably at Manchester City because Jeremy Doku is there, but Doku has also not nailed down that position at Manchester City. But Kudus will play for a lot of teams. Even Newcastle, he can start for them. So I am really inclined towards that Kudus signing. I want it to happen. Let me just be honest. I want it to happen. I want that. I want Kudus down my left. I want Noni down my right. I want Enzo and Palma in behind Dilap. I want two wingers who are, one thing that we've lacked is that, yes, Neto is very fast, but Neto, I have not seen him to be a player who likes to dribble inside the box. He's a player who dribbles, then either goes to the byline and crosses, or he dribbles, then comes in field and looks to cross towards the far post. But Kudus is not that player. Kudus is that player who wants to beat his defender, run with the ball inside the box. And once he's inside the box, he's attempting shots. And I want that. I want two threats. I want wingers who are willing to come in. I want wingers who are able to receive the ball in isolated positions and look to drive in. Wingers who are looking to drive in. And once they're looking to drive in, they're either pulling the fullbacks out, and because they're so dangerous, they will be pulling the fullbacks out of position. And once they pull the fullbacks out of position, players like Palma and Fernandez are now receiving the ball in between the lines with space. That is what has made Manchester City dominate the league. They had a very good striker, they had very deadly wingers, and they have good number 10s. Remember, it started with Raheem Sterling and Leroy Sane, all of them looking to make runs inside the box. Then you had De Bruyne and David Silva and Aguero. Then you moved from there. You started to have Mahrez down the right and Sterling down the left. And then you had now De Bruyne and Gundogan. And then you had Aguero or De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva. And this is what you want. The only reason why players why do you think Palma thrives when he plays with Noni and not when he plays with Neto? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Why does Cole Palma thrive when he's playing with Noni Madueke and than when he's playing with Neto? No. I've already said about Estevao. Estevao, I know a lot of you like him. I know a lot of you are seeing the hype with him. He's not ready for the Premier League. He's not ready for the Premier League. He's not. Estevao, if you play him with Noni Madueke in the Premier League, Noni Madueke might look better than him. I have seen him. He needs to add some weight. He needs to add some weight because in the Premier League, you don't just need skills. No. In the Premier League, you can have all the skills that you have. Why do you think Messi has feared coming into the Premier League? Why do you think Messi, the GOAT, feared coming to the Premier League? He even said that the Premier League is very physical. So if Estevao does not bulk up some muscles, he will be brushed off by the players like Livramento and Julian Timber. They will just brush him off. He will come against Manchester City, who are playing a Kanji at right back. Before he receives the ball and looks to turn, he will be bodied off the ball. He is not quite ready. That's why I'm saying it. Kudus, I think, is happening. Kudus, I think it will happen. Kudus, I think it is going to happen. Kudus, I think it's going to happen. Somebody saying that, people are constantly I watched. Sorry. I had an issue. I watched Brazil's game yesterday. Can somebody confirm that you're able to see me, please? Can somebody confirm, please? Please, somebody confirm from the comments section if you are able to see me and get me clearly. Please. Hello, guys. Can somebody confirm to me? Because I want to proceed. Yeah, okay, thank you. So I'm saying that Estevao, by the Palma is very tall. Palma is very tall. Palmer is very tall. Unpopular opinion, but Chelsea midfield won't hit the next gear until Enzo is replaced, especially with a proper striker in the lap. Let me say something about Enzo. You see, I don't know. Okay, I don't want to be rude because everybody do have an opinion, but has Enzo Fernandez regressed under Maresca or has he improved? That's the question I want you to answer. Are we seeing Enzo Fernandez scoring goals? Yes. Are we seeing Enzo Fernandez moving towards the box, attacking the box later on? Yes. I know sometimes you want him to make tackles and he's not able to make tackles. But you see, this. In fact, thank you for raising that thing. Thank you, Cruz. Thank you, Cruz. Thank you, everyone who has replied. Okay, there is this thing that I have to say. Do you remember when people were saying that Kante and Kovacic were a better pivot than Kante and Jorginho? But which pivot led us to win the Champions League? Which pivot were we playing in the Champions League that was giving us a result? We tried to play Kovacic and Kante, but it did not work. It was not ticking. But when we were playing Jorginho and Kante, it was working because Jorginho was playing as a sitter, dictating play. Kante was playing as a ball winner. Somebody is saying that Enzo Fernandez has regressed massively, but people are blinded by the GA, and even passing has become a problem for him. Wow. I didn't know the player who just equalized the Conference League and the player who scored the crucial goal that saw us win against Tottenham Hotspur has made us regress. I really don't know. Chelsea have had the third best defense in the league. Chelsea have had the second best possession. Chelsea have the second best XGA. All this is contributed by having a strong midfield because even Caicedo can do it. You see, people need to understand this. Fernandez is playing a similar role to the role that Gundogan played in Manchester City. And what role has Gundogan been playing? Gundogan has been playing as a player who bombs into the box late, a player who moves to the far post late, and a player who stays at the edge of the box, as well as looking to work with the left winger. But most importantly, this is a player who has been dropping deep to sit alongside Rodri when Manchester City do not have the ball. Is that the same thing that Fernandez is doing? Yes. Fernandez has had the second most pressures, ball-winning pressures. The third most. The one who has had the first is Caicedo. The one who's had the second is Bruno Guimaraes. Number 3 is Enzo Fernandez. So I don't know because the stats also do not support that because Enzo is doing great. According to the role that Maresca is playing, is giving him, he's doing great. We are now seeing a player who's scoring goals. Remember, under Pochettino, we did not expect a goal from Fernandez. He's scoring goals now. He's a leader on that pitch. And he's dropping deep alongside Caicedo to help when Chelsea do not have the ball. That's what I can just say. Can Caicedo play that role? No. Can Lavia play that role? No. Lavia is a sitter. Caicedo is a ball winner. You don't expect Caicedo to be bombing forward to head goals inside the net. Caicedo is a ball winner. Caicedo can play like Kante, but he cannot play like Gundogan. The only player who has those Gundogan attributes is Fernandez. And that's why I understand why Maresca is using him as one of his most important players in the team. Enzo has won us points this season. Let's just be honest. If you take away the 1-0 victory over Spurs, Do we even qualify for the Champions League? No, we don't qualify for the Champions League. So Enzo Fernandez has done a lot for us this season. So there is a lot to talk about. If we sit here and talk about all this, we'll just have even probably a 3-hour video. And in my opinion, I just wanted to touch on the transfers. And I'm ready. Before I just want to get your questions now. I want to get your questions now. I want to answer your questions. So you have a question, please. You're watching this video, please type your question. I'm waiting for your questions. I want to answer your questions. I want to answer your comments, please. There are many of you here watching. Leave your questions. I want you to answer a question. You want a video to be done. Raise the question. You want to clarify something that you watched in our video. Raise the question. Those who are generous enough, you can also use the super chat and say, "Oh, Tyrone, you are doing a great job. Go buy yourself some coffee and I will be okay." That's also something that is good that I can appreciate. So anybody with any question, I'm looking for questions to answer. But I'm saying this transfer window is so important for this club. It's so important to determine how Chelsea are going to be next season and in the Club World Cup. And I've already talked about the fatigue that is going to be associated with the Club World Cup. We need Santos in that game. There is anybody who has more information on Ekitike. I want to check that player. I want to scrutinize that player. I want to ensure that by the time I'm done and I'm doing a review on him, Kudus, I had to do it because I know that player. I've been watching him. I watch West Ham games also, and I really want him. What happens to our loan players? Very good question. What happens to our loan players? Very, very good question. So, how many players do you have on loan? We have Santos, who have said should be back. Petrovic, I think he should be back, especially if we are looking to send Sanchez. If we are looking to send Sanchez to West Ham, I think Petrovic should come back. I want to see Petrovic start in the Club World Cup. I want to see what Petrovic has. I want to see this Petrovic that has gone to Strasbourg and is now looking like prime Casillas. I want to see him at Chelsea. Which other player? Estevao, I've said I want him to go to Strasbourg. I want Estevao to go to Strasbourg next season, gain some experience in European football, then come to the Premier League the other season. It's too early. It's too early. He has not bulked up enough muscles to play in the Premier League. It's just my honest opinion. I don't want to put a lot of pressure on him. I want him to come from Brazil, go to Strasbourg, gain some senior game. There is no need to rush. You know, a lot of fans are so excited about him, and I'm saying this: Estevao, it should not be rushed. He should not be rushed. Let him go to Strasbourg, then he will come back in the 26-27 season. Which other player on loan? Disasi is going. Oh, Renato Vieira. Renato Vieira, I don't know. Chelsea might decide to retain him because we don't have a left back. Who really takes our major part? Who really takes the major part in Chelsea's transfer? Is the manager? No. These transfers are being carried out by the recruitment team that is being led by Joe Shields, and Joe Shields is trying to arrange a team similar to Manchester City. Chelsea are looking to remodel what Manchester City have done that have given Manchester City a lot of success. Remember, Manchester City is the definition of how to run a football club. They have won the Premier League 4 times in a row. They have won the Premier League 6 times in the last 7 seasons, in the last 8 seasons. So that is what you call success. And to have that success, I think Joe Shields is doing a great job. He's building a young team. That team is gaining experience on the way from 12th to 6th, from 6th to 4th, from 4th probably next season you get 3rd or you get 2nd. The other season you win the league. Players like Kanich Kumeka, Sterling, Renato Kepa. Okay. Kanich Kumeka, I think he should be back, but I have not seen what he has done when he is outside there. I will not speak a lot, but I will do further investigation on that. Sterling, Saudi. I think his time at the Premier League is over. Saudi or MLS, it's done for Raheem Sterling. Renato Viega might come back because, again, I've said we don't have a left back. Kepa is more likely going to Arsenal. I've heard rumors that Arsenal are in contact with Kepa. Arsenal Football Club. Where would we be without you, Arsenal? Where will we be without you, Arsenal? They're taking Kepa. Felix. Yeah. I'm actually caught into two. I'm caught into two whether to pick Carnage Komeka or Felix, because both of them, we need one of them. We need one number 10. Please. Let's not lie to ourselves that Palma is going to play 38 games next season and Palma is going to play all their games in the Champions League. No, let's not lie to ourselves. And in my opinion, I've said the player who most suits to be brought back is João Felix, because João Felix is a number 10. João Felix is experienced in the Champions League. So I would bring him. I can see you. Well done, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. So that's it for our transfers. I've answered the questions that were raised here, and I'm looking forward to answer more questions. I'm looking forward to do more videos. I'll be doing videos daily. I'll be looking even for ways to sneak in when I have some free time at work and do some live stream quickly, so that I can ensure that you are well updated with whatever is happening. Things are moving fast. I'm just done doing this video, then you hear that transfers collapsed. Or when I start doing this video, then this player is about to sign for Chelsea. So it's a bit chaotic. Thanks very much for staying with us in this live stream. Looking forward to do more videos with you. I really appreciate all of you for sparing your time out of your busy day, out of your busy schedule to watch. What about Esugo? Esugo. Esugo is going to go to... He's going to go to... People are bringing... Is my live stream back? Or what is it? Is my live stream some minutes back? Because I'm getting questions way after I asked people to give me questions. So, what do I have to say about Esugo? Esugo is going to go to Strasbourg. He's going to replace Santos in that position. Benjamin, what do you think will happen to Nkunku? I think Nkunku's fate was already sealed. It was said that he will not be playing for Chelsea next season. People are exploring the option whether he's going to go to Bayern Munich. And you know the way Chelsea are moving. Chelsea are such a discreet club. Oh my God, they're so discreet. Nobody even knew they were going for Delap. They just signed him. And recently that has been the mantra for Chelsea. So you might just wake up, or you might just be seated somewhere and then you hear confirmed Nkunku deal agreed with Bayern Munich. Nkunku is moving to Bayern. But he will not be here next season. That I can assure you. That I can assure you. More than you believe. More than you believe. So I think I'm done with the questions. Thank you very much. I've said again, thank you so much. A lot of you are really even sacrificing their time at work to watch us. And we are looking to give you better quality content. Our aim here, my aim here, is to give you very good content so that you can at least get further information about what is happening at the club and the game. Thank you very much. See you in our next live stream and in our next video. Bye.